Recognized to address the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise in strong support of this amendment, and respectfully to the chairman of the subcommittee, those 33,000 documents, nearly all, had previously been released and been public. So, I mean, this amendment is important because, as we saw just this week, some of Jeffrey Epstein's survivors have finally been able to be heard in this body. Decades after their abuse, they still are seeking justice and transparency. And they're doing it amid a government-wide cover-up of the Epstein files and feeble fact-finding hearings taking place in the basement of Congress. I mean, so far, none of us should have any confidence, I know I don't, in the ongoing investigation, so-called investigation, being conducted by the Oversight Committee. This is just obfuscation and delay, kicking the can down the road, doing as much as possible to prevent transparency and to actually get to the bottom of this. And that's why I'm proud to work alongside one of these courageous women, Courtney Wild, a Florida native whose bravery and determination should inspire us all. Courtney went to court against the U.S. government to fight for all the victims who were left in the dark about Epstein's lenient plea deal. She fought for decades, only to be left without true justice. Yet she is still here this week on Capitol Hill, fighting for the truth alongside numerous other brave and courageous survivors. The immense strength of survivors like Courtney is the type of courage I hope my colleagues across the aisle can soon find on this issue, because these survivors deserve transparency. They deserve justice, and they deserve a government who fights for them, not one who panders to the powerful abusers who've been shielded from accountability. Despite bold promises of transparency from this administration, all these survivors have received is more cover-up. In the end, it's all so incredibly triggering and disheartening for them. I just attended a roundtable discussion with numerous of the survivors, and just the conversation about what happened to them and the struggle that they are continuing to deal with brought them and all of us to tears. And that's why we must take action now. And this amendment does that. Speaker Johnson already stalled a vote on these files in July, and right as we speak, he's trying to kill a bipartisan push for true transparency. But the public doesn't want more Epstein files cover-ups and misdirection. They want answers. And since Trump has made it clear that he will not release these files on his own, even though he has the power to do so, it is up to Congress to act. We must stand for what is right and use every tool we have to force the Justice Department to release any and all files related to Jeffrey Epstein and his associates. And this amendment does just that. It creates an accountability measure to ensure the Trump administration can't just ignore the multiple bipartisan calls for the Epstein files release. Do we really want to have the environment that existed that allowed this horrific incidents over many years of human and sex trafficking of teenage girls to be allowed to occur again? I know I don't. I know as a mom of girls in their 20s, I want to make sure that no one's child is ever put through what Epstein put them through. And this amendment also makes sure to protect the survivors by explicitly stating that any documents that are released should protect the identity of those victims. The truth can and must come out, and we can do it without re-victimizing these survivors who deserve the space to heal on their own terms. There's no reason to vote against this amendment unless you want to be complicit in the Trump administration's government-wide cover-up of Epstein's horrific crimes. I know I won't be. So please stand with survivors by supporting this amendment. I urge all of my colleagues to have the heart and the courage to vote yes. I yield back.